Alright, welcome everybody to the third and potentially final game of the Consolation Tournament's final series. For BBL Season 7, the Bombers and the Melonheads have been facing off. We were division rivals in the regular season. Bombers beat the Melonheads twice, and they have beat the Melonheads twice in this series. It's best of 5, so if the Bombers win this matchup, it will be a sweep by the Bombers, and the Consolation Tournament will be over. If we manage to pull out the win, then things will go out a little longer. We haven't done so well so far this series, just a +6 and a +3, both of which were blown out of the water by the Bombers' scores. But we'll see if some sort of magic happens this week. Let's pop in, and my game crashed. An auspicious start to the game. Except not. He was going fine for a couple of days without any issues. But then that's the second time today it's crashed. After the first time during a Keeper League game, actually. I had a couple of not so great innings, so I was lucky enough to have those erased through no fault of my own. Okay, so this is bad. Angela is down to 4 hitting, 3 running. She's basically like a discount version of Angelique Harding. If I remember correctly. Similar stats, but worse. So, Angela is going to be a big liability on offense. An even bigger liability than normal on defense, and that alone has a very good chance. That alone has a very good chance of completely sinking my chances for this game. So I have to figure out how I want to build my lineup around that. We essentially have 3 good hitters this game, then Tanya, Tony, and Alexis. We're going to bat Alexis second to last. Give her a chance to hopefully drive some runs in and put Angela behind her if she doesn't. Go ahead and bat... We'll go ahead and bat Stewart and Lulu immediately after each other. I'm not finding it too likely that with Alexis and nerfed Angela going up that there's likely to be much in the way of runners on base. We'll see. And then we'll put Tony next. Hopefully drive some runs in. And then... I don't know. Maybe? I can't decide what to do, actually. No, we'll put Tanya third, I think, and then Stephanie, and then Tony. We'll see how this goes. This is, I think, very likely a loss just based on that nerf alone, and the way the rest of the series has gone. Anyway, as for the Bombers, I get lucky enough for them to have a nerf. I don't know if Red Benson has a nasty buff, so he's probably going to be doing some damage. So, nope, just another Melonheads game of the season with a player nerfed into the ground. That certainly has not been the only cause for my struggles this season, but it is also just as certainly not helped my case. So we'll see what happens here. Stuart Sullivan leading off with the Melonheads. I have not been playing quote-unquote hard. We're playing to rack up a bunch of runs lately. I've mostly been doing side season games, where it's more interesting if it's a close game with the AI, so... We'll see how that affects my gameplay in this game. Well, Stewart leads off with a dud, swinging and missing on the ball down the middle as the timing gets me for the first out. This is not going to be a pretty game for the Melonheads, folks. The big changes I make when I'm doing side games are that I'm less focused and I'm more aggressive with swinging. I'll swing at more questionable pitches. I'll deliberately not be taking as many pitches or trying to foul off as many pitches to tire the pitcher out. I don't want to really tire my opposition into the ground if I'm playing a side game. So, definitely swing more early and often in those games. And I'm often more distracted, too. I'll often be doing the side games while I'm doing something else, like reading something or watching the World Series or whatever. So that results also in more sloppy hitting and base running and pitching. Lulu steals second base easily, as we knew she would. So there's a runner on second with 1 out for Tanya Uchida. Tanya, then Stephanie, then Tony. This is the big core of my lineup for this game. A big chance to get stuff done. Tanya hits one down the third base line. A nice throw from Brett to get her out at first, but Lulu does successfully grab third on the play. Not really the trade-off I wanted. I would much have preferred a single for Tanya with no runners advancing, but I'll have to take what I can get. 2 outs and a runner on third for Stephanie Morgan. Well-placed hit by Steph here through the gap. Would drive Lulu in. Instead, another one down the third base line. Brett's able to get it. Looks like this is going to be a repeat of Tanya, and it is. Steph thrown out at first for the third out. Going into the bottom of the first. No score so far. Brett Olsen up for the Bombers, and we will see how Angela does on the mound today. With 2 balls taken off her pitching rating, could have no effect at all, or we could see a dramatic effect once she starts getting tired. She might start slipping away, losing her control over pitches even more quickly. And especially with the running nerf, Angela has no place where she's useful on the field besides the mound. If the background noise is too much of a bother, I can turn it off. That's alright. I usually don't mind the background noise too much. It got to be a bit much during the League Championship Series and World Series, actually. It's louder than with the roar of a crowd, but for most of the fields on this version, I like it just fine. Fred Benson now the hitter, with nobody on and 2 out, but Benson with the hitting and running boost. Well, not hitting boost, because he was already at 10. But a running boost to what I'm guessing is 100 speed allows him to beat out a bunt successfully for a base hit. And bring up Sonia Hagen. Could try to throw out Fred at second, but it would likely be just a waste of arm strength with his speed boost. Now, if he tries to steal third, we will be ready, and we will get him unless Alexis drops the ball. Swing and a miss for strike 2. 0-2 pitch coming in. Hagen does put the bat on it. A little ground ball towards the pitcher. Angela gets it, tries to throw to first, and just barely not on time. Sonia barely makes it to the bag in time, so the inning continues. Runners on the corners with 2 outs for Dmitry Petrovich. I am already envisioning this as a tense game against the Bombers' AI to see which of us can prove successful. Petrovich hits one up the first base line, but Stephanie runs too far. Barely gets him out, tags the bag in time, though, to get him out at first, so stops a run from scoring. And so, Melonheads make it out unscathed. 2 hits, but no runs going into the top of the second. No score. Tonio Del Vecchio leading off, but nobody to bat in. A very sad situation for the Rec. So gonna try to crank one over the fence here. Tony probably Tony or Alexis, the best slugger on the team with Angela. Having trouble today. Lots of inside pitches by Chin. 2-1 the count. Potentially meaty hook, but Tony just gets a piece of it, knocks it foul. 2-2 the count, and he squares up to the line drive stance. I totally mixed up the terms there. Swaps to the line drive swing. He doesn't square up his stance at all. After fouling one off, takes one low for ball 3. It's a full count on Del Vecchio. Made Chin now 7 pitches and takes ball 4 low. Tony D making it to first base, where we will see how well he can do. Vicky Kawaguchi is coming up. She is not renowned as the best hitter. With Tony's lack of speed, might be difficult. He's going to swing as hard as she can, though, try to push one through the gap. Or draw another walk. Take strike 1 on a high pitch. And a nasty corner pitch by Chin. Strike 2, 0-2 the count. And swing and a miss. Once again, messed up on the timing of that heat. Vicky out on strikes, first out. Does anybody know if Nancy Chin is good or bad with the heater? I'd like to guess that she is bad with it. I feel like she has a fairly bad heat, so it goes a bit slower than most other pitchers, and that's what's throwing me off. But I'm not sure. Meanwhile, Fernando, it's a pop-up that's an easy second out. So 1 on, 2 outs for Alexis Weiss. Has that power bat that could potentially accomplish some good things here in this inning. It will take a big hit to score any runs here. Tony's on first, not a fast runner. Angela Del Vecchio on a bad day is on deck, and a walk is not going to particularly help our cause, but it might be what we're going to get. 3-0, Chin losing her control early. The one benefit a walk will have is that it'll mean Angela will be the third out instead of the first batter of the next inning. Yeah, so not a good pitch. And, ooh, very meaty looking pitch down the middle, but Weiss just fouls it off. Full count then. So we are not getting the walk here. And just hits a sharp ground ball, goes almost straight to Hagen. That will be an easy out at second. So nothing doing in the second for the Melonheads. 1 walk, no hits. We will see which of these two teams comes out on top here. But we know pretty well that the user-controlled Bombers are going to beat both unless something absolutely insane happens late in this game. Forrest Young leading off for the Bombers. Angela did manage to recover all her stamina between innings, which is a plus. The Vicky strikeout probably helped in that regard. Angela kind of hurts our cause by diving and barely catching the ball instead of letting it bounce to Tony. She cannot make the throw to first. Single by Horace on a diving catch that harmed our chances. And Nancy Chin now up has collected 2 strikeouts on the mound. Doing an okay job here, but with some control issues. 0-2 the count. Runner on first, nobody out. Takes strike 3. Forrest Young is able to steal second base on the play, though. Fernando cannot make the throw in time. So runner on second now with 1 out. Jillian Payne up, hoping for an RBI or maybe a base hit to advance him to third. Richie Sexton-Clone has decent outfield power, which could help. Swings late, strike 2, 0-2 the count on Payne. We're going to go for the strikeout on a special pitch. Angela throws a zigzag. Payne is too confused, just watches it go by. Strike 3 called, and there are 2 outs now on the Bombers. Esther French now the hitter. The Bombers' second baseman. Swings and misses on a slow ball for the first strike. Swings and misses on a left hook for the second strike. Will it be 3 pitches, 3 strikes, 1 out? No, as the right hook goes barely outside the strike zone as French watches. Swings and misses at another slow ball, though, for the third strike. French is out. Bombers are out in the second. Out hit in the Melonheads right now, 3 hits to 1. But after 2 innings, the score is tied at 0. What's interesting is this at this point is actually feeling more like a normal game for me. Like, just not even in a this sucks way of normal, just like a yep, this is about how it feels when I play backyard baseball now, just because of my casual games where games like this where I'm not pulling out ahead and scoring a bunch of runs are not only usual but preferred. Anyway, Angela Del Vecchio up, batting .700 on the playoffs apparently, but having a bad day today and then gets struck out looking for the first out on a pitch that didn't look like she could make much contact with it. It would have taken a miracle for her to get on base anyway. Brings up Stuart Sullivan, who struck out to get us off to a not-so-good start in the first, still batting over .800 on the postseason, though. Takes ball 1. Chin may be starting to lose control of it again. Stewart does put the bat on the ball here, but it barely moves. Kendall has it, guns it up to first, but not in time. Stewart with the single. Stewart using his blazing speed to good effect. Runner on first, with one out, Luan Louis the hitter. If Lulu can get on base, and we have a decent bevy of chances with Tanya and Stephanie and Tony coming up to get on the board here. Stewart just barely makes it to second ahead of Kendall's throw. Ended up being a bit closer than I thought it would be when I decided to not slide. Eye for ball 1, 1-1 to count on Lulu. Just looking to put the ball into play enough for her to get to first base. That one I think is going to be low. No, just barely brushes the strike zone for strike 2. 1-2 the count, and if Lulu strikes out, then, well, if you want to know why I'm not doing this game, the fact that I've struck out 4 times, including once each with my 2 speedsters, is probably a big reason why. Tanya Uchida, the hitter now. 0 for 1 today. Had a very, very good first 2 series of this postseason, but has cooled down massively in this final, but hits one up the gap in the middle. For base hits, Sullivan makes it to third. And we got runners on the corners with 2 outs for Stephanie Morgan. Had an RBI opportunity with 2 outs. Back in the first, was not able to deliver. We'll see if she can this time. A base hit also will put Tony Del Vecchio up to bat. Perhaps the best player to have up on this team in an RBI situation. Steph swings at the first pitch she sees. Lanky pop-up, though, and Payne is there to catch it. Melonheads once again failed to get on the board. 2 more hits to tie the Bombers' total. But it's still no score going into the bottom of the third. Apologies, Repub, if you were hoping for a tense matchup here, where there looked like there might be a chance that I beat your run differential, but I think I put myself in the wrong mindset for that. Brett Olson leading off for the Bombers. Angela's able to intercept it and just barely throw him out at first this time. 1 out. Jason Kindle is a hitter. And hits one well, up the middle, gets past Tony. Stewart is able to grab it and stop him from getting more than 1 base. Single for Kendall, though. And Angela fumbles it on the mound. Kendall takes this as a sign to go for second base. It works about as well for him as you might expect. 2 outs. That sort of suicidally aggressive base running by the AI can work really well if the player isn't on top of things, doesn't know what they're doing. Then it can be really hard to keep up with that. Benson, meanwhile, launched one into right center, and it works phenomenally for him. Landed looked like a double at first, then he went for third. Tony tried to gun him out and just threw it out of play instead, so Benson makes it across the plate on a pair of errors by the Melonheads with an inside-the-park home run, and it is now 1-0 Bombers. Tony's arm makes him, in some ways, more useful on defense than the rest of this team, but in some ways, but is definitely not the best defensive player out there. Unreliable arm and can definitely overthrow like that. Anyway, ground up by Sonia Hagen, ends the third inning. It's now 1-0 Bombers. Melonheads have to play catch-up here. Can I beat the Bombers' AI? Is a question for this game. Swings and misses on a beautiful pitch crossing the middle of the plate. My timing is clearly not on point tonight. Swing and a miss for the Melonheads' 5th strikeout of the game. Chin is absolutely dominating them out there. Vicky Kawaguchi, the hitter. It's the first pitch she sees, but sends it straight to Chin, who is able to field the ball well. Payne can catch a laser. Vicky is out. 2 outs for the Melonheads. Fernando Diaz, a hitter. Alexis Weiss on deck. A A pair of hits by them could put the Melonheads on the board, but that's the only chance they have this inning. Fernando does hit one in the gap, though. Young puts it in from right field, but it is a single for Diaz. So, runner on first with 2 outs for the Melonheads. Alexis White's now the hitter. One of the hitters with the greatest slugging potential on the Melonheads, especially today with Del Vecchio basically out of commission. But has had consistent trouble delivering on that promise. Take strike 1. 1-1 the count. Looking for the perfect pitch here. Fouls one off. 1-2 the count. And rockets one up straight into the glove of Sonia Hagen. Should have swapped close for that one. 3rd out. And the Melonheads are done in the 4th. Continues to be a 1-0 game here. But yeah, that's the funny thing is it doesn't even bother me that I'm having this much trouble in this game. I really permanently, not permanently, but I really genuinely had my mind shift from the past week or so of side season play. And not in a way that is particularly conducive to effective BBL play. With 2 strikes, Dimitri pops one up by the mound. Angela's there. Can she catch it? She can. Even on a bad day, with her 1 glove, Angela is able to make the grab. 1st out, Horace Young the hitter. The Dimitri clone. Horace is on my keeper league team where he has been a solid contributor. Swings at the 2nd pitch, lines one straight up to short. Tony's got it. For the 2nd out, and Nancy Chin now the hitter. Has struck out 5 on the mound and struck out once at the plate. And take strike 1 on a slow ball. The Bombers in general, yeah, are a very, very solid team. They're not the strongest team out there. In particular, I think their corners are a bit weak just in terms of arm strength. Maybe not Olsen, but like Payne at first isn't going to be getting the balls across fast, and I think their left and right field aren't the strongest outfield out there. But it's a very, very solid team on the whole. Nobody slower than 6th speed, which is definitely useful. And not really much in the way of noodle arms either. Just a very overall solid team, and then both Jay Lund and Repub have done a good job with them. I think Repub is well deserving of winning the Consolation tournament here. Played well from start to finish, completely dominated the Melonheads in the first 2 games. Probably going to completely dominate them here in the 3rd game. Certainly the Melonheads aren't putting up much of a fight here. And whoa, super nasty pitch there. Just barely in the upper inside corner. There was no way Angela was hitting that one, even if she had swung. 6th strikeout for Chin, who after looking shaky in the 2nd has been dominating on the mound here. 1st out for the Melonheads. Now with the top of their lineup and their speedsters back up, looking once again to get back on the board, this might be their last good chance. If Stewart and Lulu can't, at least one of Stewart and Lulu can't get across the plate here this game, then we might well be losing to the AI Bombers. Oh, and 2 the count on Stewart. He is able to put the 3rd ball in play, goes straight to 1st, and Payne is able to handle it in time to tag him out at 1st. Two outs for the Melonheads. Lulu now up. If she's out for the 3rd out here, or Tanya gets out after her, or whatever, then not going to be looking good for the Heads. Ball 1. Puts this one in play. Looks like it is perfectly placed for her to make it to 1st. So Lulu gets on base at least. And hope remains alive for the Melonheads. Tanya Uchida, the hitter. 1 for 2 today with a single. Needs a good one through the gap that goes deep into the outfield. If she gets one like that, Lulu can score and we tie this game up. Swings at the first pitch she sees because it looked like a good one. It is a base hit, but unfortunately not one that really gets past him. Benson is able to get it in. Only 1 base taken. Could have had Lulu steal first if I wasn't sure I was going to get that good looking of a pitch again. Did look like one I might be able to hit well into the outfield. So, runners on first and second. For the third time this game, Stephanie Morgan is up with the runner in scoring position. And 2 outs. Can she deliver this time? Fouls the first one off. Ooh. Good looking one, but the timing on that slow ball messes Steph up, and she whiffs on it. 0-2 the count. Has to swing at that one. Looked like it might be a strike. Looks like it was just barely a ball. Steph swings and misses, and the Melonheads once again fail to get on the board with their 7th strikeout of the game. Bombers still up, 1-0. And Jillian Payne is up for the Bombers. Yeah, I would definitely have taken that pitch if I had less than 2 strikes, but with 2 strikes, I couldn't risk going out looking. That would have just been too rough. And Nancy, I don't think, was that great in any of my other games against the Bombers. She's just got me on a day where I'm not doing so well at the plate. And a high pop-up by whoever this blonde is. I forgot which one she is. Payne, I think. But Tony is able to catch despite standing a little off. First out. Absolutely critical that the Bombers do not score again here. Angela is able to absorb it and get it to first on time for the second out. Brett Olson now up. If the Bombers are able to score again here, then that will be very bad for the Melonheads, given that we've struggled to get a single run across the board. Swing and a miss for strike 2. And swing and a miss for strike 3. Brett Olson, not a good hitter, and that holds true again at this at-bat. So, Melonheads get the Bombers out 1-2-3, but now going to the top of the 6th, down by 1 run. And we finally get a rally together, score, and keep this game alive. Chance for beating the AI, we'll see. Tony Del Vecchio leading off once again with nobody to hit in. This game has been a big waste of his talents. And rockets one up the third base line, and Olsen is there and catches it for the first out. That's rough. Miki Kawaguchi up, also 0-2. She has to get on base here if we want to have a chance at scoring. If she doesn't, then it's just almost certainly over. Fouls one off, 1-1 the count. Chin looking to put up perhaps the finest performance by an AI-controlled pitcher of this entire season, other than perhaps Randy Johnson in my 3rd game of the season, the one that went 11 innings in that epic pitchers duel. 7 strikeouts so far, has not given up a single run, only 6 hits. Goes one outside though, full count on Miki Kawaguchi. Fouls it off, keeping the at-bat alive. Chin is coming up on 70 pitches tossed. Has definitely put forth some effort here, but has been able to hold forth. Also, I don't think I've seen a single power-up pitch from her, despite the 7 strikeouts. And inside for ball 4, Vicky is able to take first base. Hope remains alive for the Melonheads. Also, why were the Bombers playing out? Infield out with Vicky up to bat. Fernando Diaz up to bat now, 1-for-2 with a single. Another base hit here is more or less an imperative. Rockets one down the first baseline, but it is foul. Would like to take second base with Vicky, but I don't think I can make it off of Jason Kendall's arm. Can do it with Stu and Lulu. Vicky, not so much. Fernando pops one into left. Benson is there. Benson drops it, but Vicky was holding back for the tag, and then Benson flubs the throw. A duple error by Benson allows both to reach safely, and that could be huge for this game. Alexis Weiss now up. I don't know whether to hit with power or line drive. I feel like Alexis is more likely to pay off with power, but at the same time, any base hit probably is going to be enough to get Vicky across the plate, and if Alexis is out, This game is done because Angela, with a nerf, is on deck. And I am fairly certain she would not be able to get on base. Low for ball 2. If we can at least have the bases loaded with Angela up, we might be able to avoid the double play and keep going. Fouls it down third base line, 2-2 for Alexis. All we need is one run. All we need is to tie this game up, to keep the hope alive of beating the AI. Full count, letting the fourth pitch go, and it is high for ball 4. The second walk given up this inning by Chin. The bases are loaded with 1 out for Angela Del Vecchio, but Angela Del Vecchio is badly nerfed today. For any latecomers to this game, 4 batting, 3 running. Also, while we're here, going to save my game so I don't lose all my progress. Just in case the game crashes. I don't want to play it through this again. All we need to do is avoid getting more than 1 out. However that works. I'm not going to intentionally strike out either. Just need to put one somewhere where everybody except Angela can make it to base safely. 0-2 the count, or strike out not on purpose, or draw a walk. A walk would be best, honestly, because that would get the run across. Or get a miraculous hit, we'll see. Ball 1, 1-2 the count. Swings and misses, Chin's 8th strikeout of the game. Angela's 3rd strikeout at the plate. The hitting nerf has hit her very badly. 2 outs in, bases loaded. Stuart Sullivan up. He has earlier in this postseason had a miracle hit. Smacked one into the outfield, everybody was safe, a run scored. Let's see if he can do it again. Pop up. Hagen coming in to get it. Goes for the throw to third, and throw is made. And so the AI Bombers take this one. Final score, Bombers 1, Melonheads 0.